Winter is prime time for energy use here in the Northwest, but there are ways you can fight back against the big bills. KOIN News 6 reporter Tim Joyce is giving us some great tips all night long with a money meter and some other tools. So what else have you found, Tim?
Well, actually, I kind of been surprising myself going through my own house here in Southeast Portland, trying to figure out which costs what and how much it costs to run things. Even when they're not actually technically on, like these three things here, you can still be pulling energy from the wall, and that costs you big in your bill. We've got 3 appliances here, typical kitchen. You got a coffee maker. It's got a little clock and a timer on it, which can actually help you a little bit. And then you've got a microwave oven over here. This one has a clock like most of them do. The killer here is probably this toaster, plugged in, not on, not doing anything. But you notice this little LED light. All it really does as far as a function goes, it tells you if you're toasting a bagel or a toast or regular frozen, or if it's just plain old warm you want and not actually toasted. Well, these little LED lights can draw a lot of power. We've got a little money meter we've attached to all 3 of these appliances. So over the course of the year, even if we didn't turn them on, they're still sucking quite a bit of juice. $8.05 in a calendar year, and that does add up over the course of different areas across the entire house. Now, if you want to save big on energy, you have to go back to the basics. Now, Energy Trust of Oregon is one nonprofit that can help. Energy home inspections are free. They look at every way you use energy and give some expert advice on which home improvements will make the biggest difference.
We're not here to preach to people to be, well, to turn their thermostat down, I guess. That one's been abused. And everybody knows that one.
Energy Trust will also give you free compact fluorescent light bulbs, low-flow shower heads, low-flow faucet aerators, and if you complete a home weatherization project, they'll actually cut you a check. Now, coming up on KOIN News 6 at 11, we'll tell you a little bit more about how this money metering device works, and also about how if you move your energy usage to different times of the day, it can also save big time as well. We'll have all of these energy tips we've recapped for you on KOIN.com. You can click on hot links. Live in Southeast Portland, I'm Tim Joyce, KOIN News 6.
Thank you, Tim. And again, more on that investigation money meter, saving money and energy at home tonight on KOIN News 6 at 11. I'm learning a lot from his reports tonight.
And you know how we we ended daylight savings time a little later this time, and we're going to go back to daylight saving time in March a little later than we do. And a lot of that, Bruce backed me up on this, was because of energy savings, right?
That was exactly the thought, because you know everybody's home in the evening, it seems like, and so if you make that sunset later, you use fewer lights and everything else through the evening. So that's the idea, Jeff, to save power, you bet. That's what Congress had in mind when they extended daylight saving time. Well, tonight, you know, it's over, and so is the sunlight.
Well, tonight when you go to bed, even though you turn them off, most of your appliances, from televisions to computers to even toasters, will still be using electricity.
Yep, my husband goes around the house and tries to unplug them all at night. You can track how much it's actually costing you. KOIN News 6 reporter Tim Joyce shows us how tonight in our special report, Money Meter.
I'm here at my house in Southeast Portland with a couple of everyday items you find in probably your kitchen, a coffee maker, a toaster, and a microwave oven. And even though they're not on, they're still costing me quite a bit of money. Gadgets and gizmos are part of our modern world, and all take energy.
PG has been in the energy efficiency business since the 70s.
John Karasaki is an energy specialist with Portland General Electric. He says if more and more little LED lights are popping up in your home, it's an indication your appliances are in standby mode, sucking power when they're not even on. That's why they're called vampire loads, and while gadget makers could fix the problem, they usually don't.
They're not paying your electric bill, you are. So, you know, that slight bleed that you have from their device all month long, you know, that's not something that affects their bottom line, it affects yours.
John shows us how much money is being wasted in this Beaverton home using a metering device called a kilowatt.
What it does is it measures the amount of power that is going through the device.
Just in this corner, the computer, printer, and other assorted gadgets and chargers.
This third button here is where we start, is probably the most important button. It tells us how much watts we're using. It's using 21 watts of power, but it's plugged in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is just entirely wasted power. This is not producing any useful work. All these devices sitting here are off. It costs about $20 a year, but this one corner in an average home is wasting enough electricity to run an energy-efficient fridge for 6 months. The easy solution would be to reach down and turn off the power button on the power strip.
The battle to really get your energy costs down might take some help, and luckily, the expert advice is free.
We are not here to preach to people.
Sean O'Neill's a home energy reviewer with the Energy Trust of Oregon. We invited him to check out my Southeast Portland home. 117 years old, 1,200 square feet, from the top of the house to the very bottom.
I see an old vent for a dryer that is still there. And,
yes, that is just wide open.
And we're thinking there's a little daylight showing there, and that's
a bad sign.
That's not good.
Sean is one of a dozen of Energy Trust home inspectors that visit hundreds of homes in Oregon each year. They'll tell you about every way you're using energy and how to be more energy efficient.
It's really nice because if we're talking about one, we're talking about the other. If we can conserve on energy, we can conserve on money.
The nonprofit Energy Trust does more than change old light bulbs out for compact fluorescence or give you a free low-flow shower head, although they do that too. Energy Trust will actually write you a check for completing a number of weatherization and energy-efficient improvements on your own home.
There is also really good money coming back for solar power, for both thermal, for water heating for solar, and for photovoltaic.
And with electricity, there's another program you can use to offset your bill. It's called Time of Use. At peak time, you pay peak prices, but on off hours, Sundays, and holidays, it is significantly less. With Time of Use, running the dishwasher at 10 p.m. is 300% cheaper than washing dishes at 6 p.m. But Time of Use billing is not for everyone.
You have to know what your home consumes, and you have to know when your home consumes it too.
If you do try out time of use metering, this new item on the market could really help you out. This is a surge protector with a built-in timer, so you really can regulate when you actually have these devices on and powered. Now, speaking of devices, we talked about these three here in the kitchen, and just having these plugged in but not even on or used cost me about $8.05 in one calendar year, and if you add up all the appliances in a house, it really does tend to add up. If you took every single energy tip I gave you and used it in your own home, you could save hundreds and hundreds of dollars. In Southeast Portland, I'm Tim Joyce, KOIN News 6.
Well, how do you like that? Thank you, Tim. If you'd like some more information and some tips, you can go to our website, KOIN.com, and click on Hot Links.
Well, I'm starting to unplug everything here under the desk.
Don't you dare.
Because that's that. But isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You think just because you've turned something off, it's not using electricity.
Well, yeah, I
There it
started
goes.
going through all the things in my home that I might be able to unplug, although then you messed up all the clocks.
Yeah, I know, that's true. You
Don't
gotta-
unplug those.
But if you think about it, there's things you can do.